Hello and welcome to the Voice of TOD. I'm Tom, and with this video we're going to take a quick look at the latest Mass Effect Legendary Edition news. Well, controversy. Well, I mean, whatever it is. Really, I wasn't going to make this video. I didn't feel it needed to be made because I have no care about this. I love the game, I love the characters. The camera angles are the camera angles. Keep them or change them. It doesn't affect my enjoyment of the game, for me personally. But there's a line in this article that I was skimming through, and I thought, okay, we've got to talk about this. So, Den of Geek, link in description, let's talk about it. Mass Effect Legendary Edition changes leave gamers crying, censorship. Modified Mass Effect Legendary Edition camera angles leave some gamers willing to die on a butt-shaped hill. First of all, dying on a butt-shaped hill sounds hilarious, so if you want to die there, more power to you. The wonderful Miranda, I do love Miranda, she is second only to Liara in my male shepherd's affections. And she does have a pretty good butt as well, let's be honest. The long-awaited Mass Effect Legendary Edition collection has found itself at the centre of a rather strange controversy. Left some gamers claiming the classic RPGs have been censored. I mean, is it censorship? Maybe, it might be. In an interview with Metro, BioWare project director Mark Walters, this is the fourth time we're talking about Mark Walters this week I think, so he's obviously doing very well, addressed some of the ways that the team is using the Legendary Edition to fix certain aspects of the original Mass Effect games that haven't aged well. I'm fine with that. Notably, he revealed that the team is especially interested in remedying some of the issues that left the original female avatar of Commander Shepard feeling like an afterthought. Because she was an afterthought. BioWare were worried about doing the whole female lead with the male lead, just like Ubisoft were doing. I mean, BioWare rectified that with 3, so 8 years ago, nearly 9 years ago. Ubisoft is still doing it. It's stupid, but also the game has to play the same for both sexes, so it's probably easier for them to just focus on one and then the code will figure out which sex they are and it's all the same. I mean, how much time have they spent doing these changes when they could have made Pinnacle Station? That's a hill that I'm prepared to die on. It's not, but I'd rather have Pinnacle Station than them messing around with this, because this doesn't bother me in any. But still, let's carry on before I get totally sidetracked. So a male Shepard animation would have him sitting with his legs quite wide open with a low camera, where if you're wearing a skirt, it would be a bit unflattering, Walters explains. So we can't necessarily change that animation, but you can raise the camera up slightly to reduce the problem. That's fine. Fine. The idea of using modified camera angles to address problems such as these came up again later in the interview, where Walters references some of the most gratuitous camera shots in the original Mass Effect games. Kevin Meek actually called out some of the camera cuts that were just... I need to show you this picture. Why was the focus on Miranda's butt? Because it's amazing, says Walters. So in some cases we were, okay, we can make a change there. Sure, phrase it. I mean, looking at that as a still shot, it is a bit weird that you've got Miranda's curves and then the full or mostly full Shepard from the knees up. I think it's just framed that way. Maybe the camera's moving. It's a conversation, so that's going to be a still camera. Okay. Maybe it was framed that way just so you could get all of Shepard in. But if that was slightly higher, like if the camera started, say here, so you had some butt, curve, and then Miranda's face in the top, you'd be starting at Shepard's waist, that would work too. All I'm saying. In case you didn't play the original Mass Effect games, and were wondering what all the fuss was about, the angles Walters is referencing include shots such as the one which would sometimes appear when players spoke to Miranda, Lawson and other characters. Miranda Lawson, In the game, she is genetically enhanced to be the perfect woman. That's her. Why would you not? As a straight male shepherd, why would you not look? As a female shepherd, regardless of whatever shepherd you are, why wouldn't you look? If you find her attractive, find her attractive. While Walters says the team aren't ultra concerned about character models such as Miranda, Liara or Edie, who some feel were designed to cater to male fantasies, they do, but I'm going to touch back on that, this is why we're doing this. They do believe that things have evolved since the original games and wanted to modify some of the elements in original titles that no longer make sense to them, which is fine. We don't need to Michael Bay Mass Effect. So you can change these camera angles, but let's be clear on one thing. Miranda, straight relationship choice, genetically enhanced to be the perfect woman, she is the embodiment of the male fantasy, and Yvonne Strahovski is fucking gorgeous. 2. Liara. Romance option for either sex of shepherd. Again, she might not be genetically enhanced, but she's a pretty perfect woman. Edie, yeah, I mean, if you're into robots, then Edie's going to do it for you, but so does a toaster probably, so, you know. Edie is a chrome-plated 6 from Battlestar Galactica. She's even voiced by Tricia Helfer. So, you know, whatever. Male fantasies, yes. Female fantasies, yes. If that's your thing. This video's going in a totally different direction. We've still got loads to talk about, oh Jesus. While Walters suggests that this move exists in a middle ground between completely altering the original games and addressing elements of those titles that made the team and many players a little uncomfortable, the decision is still drawing heat from some players who feel that the series is being censored and even ruined as a result of the raised camera angles. This isn't ruining anything. This is a minor tweak. Doesn't change anything about the story or the characters that you love. Along with those who feel that the game's more gratuitous shots were somehow a vital part of the Mass Effect experience and those online communities particularly built around them. Really? Some are saying that this is another example of the so-called social justice censorship debate that has involved everything from episodes of The Office, really, and Community being altered and removed on streaming platforms to HBO Max, attaching a disclaimer to Gone with the Wind. Yeah, this is just stupid. Personally, I see this as stupid, but I don't get offended by this stuff. Others are claiming that it's an act of unnecessary modification akin to the changes George Lucas has made in the original Star Wars trilogy. George Lucas ruined A New Hope with that one change. Everybody knows Han shot first, and I will not hear anything otherwise. Han shot first. Greedo didn't even get a chance. That's why we love the character. I don't want to talk about George Lucas. He winds me up with these changes. God, wow, I'm really fired up today. Before you lose all hope, though. Jesus Christ, adverts. Before you lose all hope, though, it should be noted that many, many more people are rightfully pointing out that these changes are not only in and of themselves not a big deal, but they actually make quite a bit of sense in the context of the game's lore. After all, part of Miranda's arc as a character involved her battling the fact that she was genetically altered to achieve a perfect physical form. It kind of ruins the moment when you're hearing a character confess their struggles with the idea that they're being defined in the minds of their peers because of their physical form rather than their accomplishments when the camera is unreasonably focused on their butt. I can't disagree. I can't disagree with that. If you're one of the many fans who doesn't base their lives on close-up views of 480p digital butt, then you may be interested to know that Walt has also revealed that the Legendary Editions will retain the extended cut of Mass Effect 3, which we knew, ending rather than attempting to rewrite the controversial conclusion to the trilogy. There's no word on how many cutscenes will be altered as part of the aforementioned modifications, and any other changes the team intends to make. As we know, Legendary Edition is out on the 14th of May for all consoles but Nintendo. Man, imagine if Mass Effect came to the Switch. That sounds like a good idea. Instead of changing camera angles and not making Pinnacle Station, make Pinnacle Station, you cowards. Port this onto the Switch, because that could be amazing. We're gonna finish up with the shot of Miranda's butt, because I love Miranda. In Mass Effect 2, she was my first romance choice in my first playthrough, because there is none of the original crew around. Spoilers maybe, you've probably played it, it's a 10-year-old game. I think Miranda is an incredible character. I love her arc, I love the moments you get with her in 3 as well, and her whole story in 2 is just, it's a wonderful part of character growth, and learning about someone who wants to be distanced from you and bringing them in and building that relationship and finding out what they want and helping them achieve what they want. I'm not going to tell you what her mission is, but it's her story is excellent, just like Garrus's, just like everybody's in there. These games are near perfection. If you want the butt shots, don't play the remastered. They can't change. If you have the physical disc, they cannot change it. There's also a thing called Google, and I'm sure these images won't be pulled down, and I'm sure you could find all sorts of other things to satisfy your fantasies with a click of a button. As I say, this doesn't bother me. I find it hilarious that people want to get worked up about this stuff. Censoring is beyond stupid at the minute, I think, even to the point where Aliens is censored because an actress is playing a character that she isn't a part of the culture or whatever stupidity it was. I think the world has gone mad in this front. But this particular moment of it, let's say, is what it is. It doesn't change anything for me. And it probably, for most people, it doesn't change them. And you know what? If more people pick it up and play, and they think, oh, I wonder what Miranda's butt looks like, they can just Google it. It's not the end of the world. What is the end of the world is Han not shooting first. And not having Pinnacle Station in Mass Effect Legendary Edition. No, I'm kidding. Neither of those are big problems. There's much bigger things going on in the world right now. I find this ridiculous. I find this absolutely ridiculous. But it is what it is. The butt debate may reign until the games are released and we play them and we realise it isn't a big thing. Or it maybe is, and the butt debate will carry on forever. The Mass Effect butt debate. Maybe we'll get a butt edition. You can have your Legendary Collector's butt edition, which is just... I'm going too far. This is where I'm going to call this one. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.